everybody. I think it's afternoon when I'm normally with you in the morning, but hey, it's all good, right? Because it's a new year and we are doing the homeschool thing in our house. We just got started back up yesterday and wow, like it always takes a little bit of time to get reacclimated, but I'm getting ahead of myself. This is Chattin with CHAP and I'm your host, Ginger Wade. So I'm so glad you're with us today, with me. I say us because I think of us as like an organization and it's a whole bunch of people. So I'm glad you're with me today. You will see I'm wearing my Chester Scoats sweatshirt in honor of my trip out to the USS Nimitz last January, which was such a great experience. And we learned about all kinds of things to share with you guys about what the military has to offer homeschooled students. So that was quite the experience. And if you're coming to convention, the Navy will be there so you can talk to them about it. Anyway, like I said, it's a new year. How did you celebrate? One of the things that we are doing, we're in the process of doing, is going through our calendar from last year. Looking, we write all of our stuff on a paper calendar. So there's all the stuff, all the mundane, all the time stuff, but the special stuff. And we're going through and just praying prayers of thanks to God for everything that happened. And it's really great. It's a great faith builder. It's a great joy builder. It's a great way to reflect over all that God led us through in the past year. So if you haven't done that, if you still have a calendar around, I suggest you can do it alone. You can do it with your spouse. You can do it with your kids. It's just a really great way to look back and remember all that God did for you over the past year. So there's so much going to happen in 2026. Of course, most of you probably know it's the 250th birthday of America this July. So I think there's going to be stuff going on everywhere to celebrate our nation's birthday this year. So keep your eyes and ears open. I'm sure we'll be posting stuff. I'm sure you'll be seeing stuff all over the internet. Celebrate our country this year. And maybe part of celebrating our country this year will be learning more about it, learning more about our history, learning how to be a good citizen, learning how to uphold what our founding fathers did for us. What a great opportunity this year. And if you didn't notice our logo change, CHAP is celebrating 40 years this year also. So you will be seeing that all over the place. We're just tickled pink to still be around. It's 40 years later. We're still here supporting homeschoolers and loving every minute of it. So, continue on with CHAP as we share with you events that are coming up. And really, if you want to be in the know and know what's coming up with CHAP, subscribe to our e-news. Go to chaponline.com under the contact little tab there and click subscribe to e-news. That is how you know what is going on and get your weekly dose of encouragement from us. Likewise, with all those things, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or any of that, do all the liking and the subscribing and the sharing. Add some comments. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us about your experience in homeschooling. Tell us if there's topics you'd like us to talk about here on the podcast. We love it when you engage with us. So please do that and get the word out because there are still people who don't know that CHAP exists. I just met a man in Lancaster County. He's been homeschooling his kids, had no idea that CHAP existed, and was super excited to hear about the resources and stuff that were available to him and his family. So please keep sharing, liking, telling people about us so they get the support that they need on their homeschooling journey. All right, today we're talking about embracing homeschooling. So this is great for those of you who are trying it out this year, or for those of you who aren't sure if you want to try it out this year, or I'm telling you, if you have a friend who's thinking about it, is on the fence, has been kind of hemming and hawing about it, this podcast will be great support for them and encouragement for them and a great jumping off place to get them to commit, get into that commitment mode with homeschooling. So those of you who are homeschooling, we're mid-year now. Well, if you follow the traditional calendar, I know some of us do our fun little whatever we can, and we can because we have freedom. We can have our schedule however we want it to be. But how is your year going? How is your year going? Is there some things that you are loving? Is there some things that you're like, oh my word, we need to stop doing this because I can't even? And you know what? It's okay. It's totally okay to do that. It's totally okay to sell the curriculum and not replace it, or replace it with something else, or do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It's totally okay. It's totally okay to do that. So feel free to analyze what's going on in your house and to make changes as you need to make changes. So hopefully you're getting your sea legs. Hopefully you're feeling really good about what's going on and you're starting to feel like, okay, this isn't as scary as I thought it was going to be. We have a little bit more time than I thought we were going to have, and this is good. If you are considering homeschooling, keep listening. This podcast, this entire series of podcasts is for you. Check out our YouTube channel. You'll get all kinds of encouraging things there. So we know what's going on in the public school, right? We've seen all the stuff that the kids are being taught, all the things they're learning, all the things that go on with the peers, the content that is in there, the peer pressure that's going on. It's just destructive. It's a war zone in the public school. So if you're not sure if you want to homeschool or not, I implore you, please bring your kids home and homeschool them. Just being with you is going to make all the difference in their world. I heard recently about a family whose daughters were like picking at each other and they're always making fun of each other and picking at each other all the time. They brought their kids home, decided to homeschool, and it's gone. It's gone. And it's not necessarily just because you're just together all the time, but as mom, you're like, okay, I'm not going to have you picking at each other all the time because we're with each other all the time and we're not going to live like this. So let's deal with it. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Let's value each other. And that's the kind of stuff you got to do when you're homeschooling. You deal with the issues, right? You don't just sweep it under the carpet because you're together all the time. So that's a really positive thing. If you have kids that are picking at each other all the time, and that, I mean, the influence of peers is no joke. I mean, that is why that kind of stuff comes up, just because, you got to be cool and your little sister, and that's just not biblical. It's just not biblical. All right, there's a battle raging for your kids. I mean, look at what's going on in the public school, even in the colleges. Look what's being taught out there. It's raging. Wake up, sleeping parents. It is time to take that responsibility and embrace it. You will not regret homeschooling. Take heart, muster the courage to do it, step into it, and talk to someone who just started it. They could be like, wow, it's like really scary till I got the paperwork in. We started doing it, but we got our groove. And once we got our groove, it was really good. We're trying something different now. Talk to people. Be in community. Make sure you have support with what you're doing. If you're considering homeschooling or you're just getting started, I want you to think about some background things you need to know, some questions you need to ask yourself, some stuff you just, as a parent and you're embarking on this homeschooling thing, you need to kind of flesh out in your head or understand why you're doing what you're doing. And this is going to help you. You're going to want to keep the answers to these questions nearby, because when it gets hard and the little yellow school bus is driving by out there and you're like, oh, I just want to put my kids on that, you'll say, nope. This is why I'm homeschooling. I'm sticking to it. So a few things I have a few questions in a minute, but a few things I want you to think about. If you're on the fence or you're new to homeschooling, think about these things. No one loves your child like you do. No one, except God, because he created them. But no one on the planet loves your child like you do. Amanda says she was scared to be in homeschooling, but here we are 2 years in, and she's so thankful. Yay, Amanda. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, it is. It's like jumping off a cliff, right? You're just like, oh my word, this seems so scary. I had another friend at church who was like, okay, we're going to start this. And her oldest is in kindergarten. We're going to start this. We're going to do this thing. And then they started it and they're like, what do I do with all the time? So she got done so fast and she's like, well, now we have all this time. Like, yes, exactly. So you can be doing fun things together or teaching them things around the home or gardening or whatever. It doesn't take that long. Okay. So no one loves your child like you do. No one knows your child like you do. So some of us who were nameless, like to be busy. And honestly, sometimes I don't take the time to just watch my kids like I should. I'm getting better at it. I have 6 kids. I'm halfway through. I know. But take your time to observe your kids. Watch them. What lights them up? What do they enjoy doing? How do they enjoy doing things? Do they like to listen? Do they like to tap when they hear music? Do they like to move their bodies? Do they just like to sit still and look at pictures? Do they like to write on a paper? Do you have a little one that has to have a paper and do exactly what big brother or sister is doing while you're doing school? Make note. Make note of those things. That will help you as you decide what curriculum or how to approach their learning. Pay attention to those little things. Another thing, no one has your child's well-being in mind like you do. And others may mean well, but let's say in a schoolroom situation, managing that whole classroom of kids and trying to give attention to this one kid that's struggling is super hard. And I'm not saying that school teachers don't love children. I'm not saying that they're not trying to do the best. They are. They're trying to do their best. But the fact is, when you have 30 kids in a room and one teacher, you just can't do what a mom can do or one person can do with 1, 2, or 3 kids. Like say you have 3, I have 6 kids and I was homeschooling 5 at once. Even that ratio is better than what you're going to get in the public school system. So in that system, even in a great private school that's biblical, you're not going to get that attention that you're going to get when you're doing 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 or 3-on-1. And in a great private Christian school, you still got the peer stuff. You still got the culture stuff. I mean, you just can't get rid of it. So that's something really to think about. And I'm not dissing Christian school because if that's your option, it's good. It's good. But you still have the attitudes and the stuff and those dumb fads that go through. I'm not even going to say the one that that all the kids are saying right now, but it's in Christian school too. It's out there. And if you don't want your kids, being sheep and following the crowd, yeah, you gotta bring them home. Gotta bring them home. So another thing I want you to think about when you're considering homeschooling is God gave you this child. Did he make a mistake? Does God make mistakes? I think we know that he doesn't. And he puts people in families on purpose. He puts us together. He draws us together in families on purpose. And sometimes that's hard to swallow because sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes the road is really hard. One of the things that Steve and I teach in our parenting class that we do is that God puts us with these children with particular personalities that might not mesh with our particular personalities. But and we know that they're born sinful little children and we don't need to teach them how to sin. But that sinfulness in our kids brings out our sinfulness. And that's one of the things about being together in family. Children bring that out. And sometimes it's ugly. And we got to deal with it. When we're with our kids all the time, we need to deal with the fact of our sinfulness. And that God wants to change us. And he wants to build our character. We all need to be refined, right? None of us is Jesus. None of us is even close, right? Our goal is to be more like him. And we need that refining. And I'm telling you, homeschooling, just raising kids does it. But when you add that responsibility for education on top of it, man, it does it. But it's so good. That growth that happens in you and in your kids is so good. Being together, like I said earlier, all the time increases that need, like that mom who was like, we are not going to bicker. Let's deal with this thing. So the refining fire can do its work. And that is a glorious thing. I mean, if you build great character in yourself and your kids, it's all worth it. Don't worry about what you're learning. Don't worry about all the expectations that school systems put on people and whatever. If you're raising people with good character that know how to learn and all that, that is amazing. It does take commitment and it does take determination and perseverance. So it's, we're going to homeschool, right? We're going to homeschool. No big deal. No, it does take some, even if you're unschooling, you're letting it be loose or whatever, it takes some determination and commitment to get it to continue, to get it to move forward. So that's something to wrap your head around. So as you're considering homeschooling, these are things we need to think about. Another thing, parents, homeschooling is not school at home. I actually don't like the word homeschool. home education, home learning is good. Homeschool confuses all of us, right? We all think it means school at home, and it's just not. The school system works for some people, but a very small group of people learn really well in the home, in the school, the public school, the private school system. I got good grades. It didn't necessarily mean that I learned a lot, if you know what I'm saying. So don't try to recreate public school at home as you're considering this homeschooling process. Keep it in your mind. I'm going to home educate. I'm going to teach my kids how to learn. You're going to watch your kids. How do they learn? Do they like to listen? Do they like to talk? Do they like to move? Do they like to use pencils? And use that information to help them learn how they learn. And everybody learns different. They might be similar to a sibling or you, but they might be totally different. They might need a scooter to scoot around on all day long while they read their books and draw their things. But this is how they learn. Just, ask them some questions if they're doing something and say, well, what about this? And how do you do this? Or what did you learn about this? And they can tell you, then it's sinking in, right? So help them learn how to learn. That is the best thing you can do as a homeschooling parent. You're never going to teach them all the things. There's always going to be gaps, always gaps. Okay. Don't worry about the gaps. It's okay. It's okay. Because if the time comes when they need to learn that thing, they'll learn it because you taught them how to learn, and they can go to YouTube or get a book or whatever it is that they need to do to learn, just tinkering till they figure it out themselves. They're going to be able to do it because you took the time to teach them how to learn. Okay. So that's the biggest thing with home education. Teach them how to recognize what they're interested in and develop that. So we are given passions. We are given talents and skills inside of us. It all reflects the Creator. And we kind of have to mine that out to figure out what it is that our kids are really good at. And it's not always easy. It's extra hard when you have siblings that seem really good at stuff and you don't seem to measure up as a sibling. That happens in every family. It happens in my family, but you got to boost up those kids. God put something in you. Let's figure it out what it is. Figure out what it is. And it just takes time. None of this is going to happen in 30 days, years, sometimes after high school. It takes a while till they figure out what it is that they want to do, but you keep trying different things. I'm interested in this. Let's try this. I'm interested in this. Let's try that. I'm going to try doing this. And you're like, I love this. I hate this. It's just, you're just trying all these different things. There's not a set course, right? Okay. Like I said, learning at home does not look like learning at school. My kids sit at the kitchen table. They sit on the sofa. They sit on the floor in their bedrooms. They lay on the floor in their bedrooms. They climb a tree and sit in a hammock. We take walks. I sit together with all of them and I read to them. I read outside. They like to sit on the swings and swing, and I read outside. All different ways to learn. Co-op settings, group settings, pods, whatever it is you want to call them. They're all the same thing. It's all a co-op. So many different ways to learn. And there's no limits and no boundaries. Now I know if you're thinking about getting started, that sounds terrifying, but it's really, really good. You can start with a box curriculum that tells you exactly what to do. That's fine. I did that. As you get more comfortable, you can kind of peel away from that and do some different things. It happened again and again and again. I've heard those stories again and again. I had to start with a box curriculum. I was terrified. And a few years in, I was ready to do my own thing or just eclectic and whatever. Or if, you like the classical conversations and that's a thing that you do, a group that you're with, and you do that the whole way through, that's great too. There's no boundaries. There's no limits. You do what works for your kids, for you, for your life. And you know what? It might change. Right now, you might be working. In a few years, you might be able to come home all the time. Or you might be home and you have to go working. But you can massage homeschooling around to be what you need it to be at that season. My sister-in-law used to work part-time, and then she was working from home all the time. And now she's in the office all the time. And she's homeschooled the whole way through all of it. She had help from her mom at the beginning. She took care of it all in the middle. And now they're old enough, they take care of it themselves and they can drive themselves to co-op classes. So it can shift and change to be what you need it to be with work, with life circumstances, with health issues. It's totally flexible. There's no formula. So like I said, I know this can be daunting at first, but step into it bit by bit. Get your sea legs, like I said earlier. Get the feel for how you teach and how your kids learn, how it's going to function in your household. And just change a tiny bit at a time, or stick with what you got for a long time till you feel comfortable. It's okay. It's okay. So if you're considering homeschooling or you're just getting started, I want you to think about this. You brought home this baby from the hospital, cute little baby, right? And instantaneously it could speak and eat and go to the bathroom and do whatever it needed to do. You know, that's not true. What did you do since the moment your child was born? You loved them. You took care of them. You fed them, right? You changed their diapers. You helped them learn how to sleep on their own. You helped them how to soothe themselves, however you chose to do that. They watched you. They watched your mouth without the mask, right? So they could see your face to learn how to speak. You taught them to eat with the little spoon and the little sippy cup. You taught them to walk. Wasn't that fun? Oh, it's so fun to watch toddlers walk. You taught them to use the potty. You taught them to get dressed. You have been homeschooling since day one. Home educating since day one. You've been educating and training your children since day one. So we're just going to stay the course. We're just going to keep moving as they get older. Okay, they're interested. Let's show them letters. Let's show them colors. Let's do patterns with beads, whatever. You're just doing the next thing. It doesn't have to be this big, scary thing. So Phyllis asked, is it okay not to use worksheets or books? Absolutely. My son is 7 and does not take well to doing them. How do I keep records if what we're doing, if we're not using workbooks? So I can't see the rest. Let me see. I don't want to mess up my thing here. She's a little nervous. It's okay. Everyone's a little nervous the first year. Don't worry about it, Phyllis. It's okay. If you don't use a lot of workbooks or any workbooks, one of the best things to do is take pictures. So if you're doing little projects or you have them playing in a, like the sensory bin with the sand and drawing with his finger or doing beads or however, whatever it is that you're doing, just take pictures and have like the picture portfolio, right? So many people do digital portfolios that way. And it's okay. I had a child who hated the physical act of writing. Once he learned how to type around 4th grade, he could write anything. He says today, I can write a 10-page paper in 30 minutes. Because that physical act was not easy for him. But I took his stories and stuff he needed to do up until that time. I wrote them down. I took them orally. So you just kind of shift what you're doing there. So it's not like he's not doing that work, but you're kind of helping them till they're at a point when they can function well with whatever it is that they need to do. Hands-on stuff is so good for young ones. So I like workbooks and worksheets. I wouldn't worry about that for little ones. And sometimes it takes till they're like 8, 9, 10 till they feel comfortable holding a pencil. But I will say, make sure that you're giving them lots of opportunities for the motor skills, fine motor skills, like stringing beads, or those little cardboard things with the holes around the edge, and like you took a string and you like threaded it, like all those old-fashioned toys and stuff. There's a reason for that stuff. That's all fine motor skill stuff, or climbing trees, or playing outside, jumping on a trampoline, doing a swing. Any of those things, that movement actually is really, really good for your children. So when they're that young too, till they get comfortable doing more fine motor thing, like writing is a really fine motor skill thing. So getting a grip on the body and how the body works actually is really good for young ones like that. So that would be my suggestion. Don't worry too much about the worksheets and stuff like that now. Read. I'm going to say that a little bit later, but read. Like do a lot of reading to them, with them. And yeah, movement, little ones. Oh, movement. I cannot say it enough. Or even like I had a big tweezer and like the pom-poms of different colors, and they would pick up a pom-pom and put it in a container of the same color. So they were learning colors and also doing that, fine motor stuff. And that will help with holding pencils. So those types of things. Okay, so I digress. Going to keep moving through. But Phyllis, don't worry. You're on track. You're doing great. Keep on keeping on. You're doing fabulous. Okay, so, here it is. Learn with your children. Read, read, read. So if you have a high school diploma, you can teach your kids these things, right? You can help them along the way. And if you can't, then what does that say about our public schools and our high school diplomas, right? If you don't know, like if you're getting into math you don't feel comfortable with, learn with them. Or even history, English, anything, learn with them. Walk with them through this learning. It's great. It's a second education for you. I hated history. I love history now. It's been great for me. I've learned so much more homeschooling my kids, and it's been wonderful. So learn with them. Read, 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 read. I can't stress enough. Just go to the library. Tons of books. Just read. Make sure they're safe books, good books. But read to them. Take baby steps. And don't forget that you have time. We feel pressured. We feel pressured by what everyone's doing in school. We feel pressured about what everyone's doing over here or over there or in that co-op or in this group or whatever. You have time. You have time. And sometimes it takes kids a while till they get to the point where they're like, boom, I can read and use my pencil and do. Sometimes 11, 12, some kids are even that old until they feel really comfortable doing these things. And it's okay. It's okay. So don't put that pressure on you. You have time. So if you're listening and you are pulling your kids out of school, yay, good job, everyone. Yay. Let's clap for these folks for pulling their kids out of school. Take the time to detox. Seriously, like no joke. Detox from that environment and how they've been learning, how they're used to learning looking like. Take time to get to know each other. Don't jump into academics right away. It's totally okay to not be doing school right away. If you're just bringing your kids at home, get to know them, do fun things together. There's so many places to take field trips. Just look around for places to go, get online, do some searching, keep an eye on our feed. We post stuff all the time. And when you get to the point when you're ready to be looking at curriculum, if you have older kids, especially, have them part of the conversation. If they know what they like, if they know what they want to do, totally include them in that conversation of what types of things they want to study. You do not have to do exactly what it is that the public school is doing. There are requirements in the law. I'm not going to touch those today because this is just a basic you can homeschool, but check out the homeschool law playlist on our YouTube channel. It explains everything in super thorough detail. You don't want to miss that. It will help you. So here's something that's really important. Set goals. Set goals for you, but don't, make them crazy. Here's one thing about setting goals. My husband and I set a long-term goal. Like for us, it's not year to year. We are doing this thing. We have our kids at home, and unless God says, thou shalt not homeschool anymore, we are doing it. But our goal, our reason, the heart of why we're doing what we're doing with homeschooling is to raise our children to follow Christ in all of life. It's so that they know Jesus. They know how to live walking with him day to day in everything that they're doing. That's why we've made it through the hard days. That's why the days when I'm crying, and I'm not saying there's not days when I'm crying. I've locked myself in my room, curled up in a ball, and I've cried. And it's okay. It's okay. That's part of the journey, but that's part of what God is going to walk you through, right? That is part of how he's going to grow your faith in him. That's part of how he's going to change your character. That stuff is as valuable as the stellar days. And the mundane days are going to be way more than the rock star days or the awful days. So we have a few awful days, a few rock star days, and everything else in between. But we're to take joy in the mundane, take joy in the everyday, take joy in life, take joy in the learning together, in the being together. So those goals, those super deep down inside goals, are what's going to help you persevere through those days where you're like, oh my word, I can't even, not even for another minute. And honestly, in those days, just have fun. Just stop, play a game, take a walk, go to the ice cream parlor. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay to take a break and say, not today. My oldest, when he was 2, we teased him about getting his hair cut. He hated getting his hair cut. And my mom was a beautician. She's like, let's cut your hair today, Joel. And he's like, not today, nope. So like, that's our family joke. Not today, nope. You're welcome, Christina. I love to encourage you guys. So you can say that. Take that on as your thing. Not today, nope. If it's got to be not today, nope, that is totally okay. So in short, you can do this. You can homeschool. Check out the video library on YouTube. Oh my goodness. We have over 400 videos out there. Ro has lots of encouraging things. I have lots of encouraging things. It covers all these topics we've talked about this morning and even some other things too. Lots of other things. So go check it out. There's lots of help there. Come to our events. Sign up for the e-news so you know when the events are happening. We have some stuff coming up in March. Capital Day in April, which is a great field trip. And the convention in June. You're not going to miss those opportunities for connection. They are so good for the soul. I just want you to think about this. There's so much freedom we don't know that we need. Like, I think we forget about the freedom. Like, we've been told that we can't do stuff without someone telling us what to do. It's just not true. We forget about the freedom that we need to just thrive and bloom and follow what it is that Christ has put on our hearts. So education, this learning and walking with the Lord needs that freedom. Your children need that freedom. You need that freedom. Grasp it. Love it. I know it feels overwhelming when you're first getting into it, but once you get used to it, you're like, oh, this is so good. This is so good. And yes, I have the freedom to do what I need to do with my kids when we need to do it, right? Homeschool, home education is the way to learn in freedom. So you got this. We are here for you. CHAP is here for you. Like I said, we've been around for 40 years and we're not going anywhere. We're still here. We're still supporting homeschoolers all across the state. And you know what? I was looking at some of my stats last night. There's people that listen to this who live in Australia and other places in the world. And I'm like, that is so super cool. So we are here for you. We are here to support you. Write in and ask your questions. I love to answer people's questions. I love to encourage them along. So we want to help you in that way. Like I said, like, share, send these messages out far and wide to all the people you know who are thinking about homeschooling and need that support. You can do this. So step into this education freedom as you follow Christ in all of life and teach your children to do the same. You will not regret it. And there are people out there to support you, like CHAP and the homeschoolers all around you. So have a wonderful 2026. Like I said, stay tuned with us. Get connected with your local homeschool peeps and reach out to us anytime you need that little boost. We are here to help you out. Have a great rest of the week. And oh, I just wanted to mention the next 4 episodes of Rose Resource Room and Chat with Chat will be all about some basic questions that people ask us. Curriculum, preschoolers, different things like that. When we were out in Texas getting our training, our leadership training, we recorded these panels and it will be great. It's going to be Alicia, Sarah, Rowe, and I, and you do not want to miss them. They are going to be fun. So that's the next 4 weeks. Tune in and I will be live back with you after that. All right. Have a great start to your school year and we will see you. Bye.